Hi, everybody. It's Scott from Passport Attitude. If you're a fan of falling water like I am, then there is no better place on earth to quench your craving for crashing cascades than the unbelievable Iguacu Falls, which lies along the border of Brazil and Argentina in the heart of South America. This staggering sight is one of the most amazing places I've ever witnessed in my years of guiding walking tours around the globe, and I'm not alone in that assessment. Years ago, when First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt visited Iguazu, she reportedly took one look at the falls and said, "Poor Niagara." And of the three tour groups I have led there in 2009, 2012, and last year in 2019, nearly all of my travelers stated that it is the most magnificent waterfall they have ever seen. Now, what makes this waterfall so unparalleled is the fact that there are about 275 separate cataracts that combine in an elongated horseshoe shape along the border, dropping anywhere from 200 to 270 feet into the gorge below. Iguazu spans an area that's about 1.7 miles wide, with most of the water falling on the Argentine side of the border. Unless you're flying in a helicopter or a plane, there is no one spot that you can stand where you can see the entire falls at one time. It is that vast and overwhelming.
So there's the Devil's Throat off in the distance, Argentina side, and look, you can see most of the falls from here, stretching along, rainbows, and it just keeps going. Unbelievable.
To really do justice to this magnificent place, you need to explore Iguazu from both the Brazilian and the Argentine side of the falls, and for the complete experience, you should also consider taking a thrilling jet boat ride into the raging mist of Iguazu for a fully immersive moment you won't soon forget. First, let's take a look at Iguazu on the Argentine side. On this map, Argentina is to the right, and Brazil is on the left. As a small side note, you will also see Iguazu spelled with a Z instead of a C, depending on which country you are in. The name Iguazu comes from the local Guarani language, and it means big water, which seems like a pretty accurate description. As you can see from the map, the Iguazu River takes a huge 180-degree turn just before the falls. The huge volume of water fans out as it makes this turn, and that's what leads to the huge number of cascades that drop over such a wide area. A good place to start your exploration of Iguazu, in Argentina, is to take the small national park train to the top of the map and walk on elevated walkways that take you over the Iguazu River. You may see coatimundi, a raccoon-like critter, or monkeys or birds along the way. This calm and serene walkway belies the thundering aquatic rage you are about to see. Once at the Devil's Throat, also known as Garganta del Diablo in Spanish, you will be blown away by the sheer force of the water that is crashing down into the gorge below. This is the tallest part of Iguazu and where most of the river plunges over the precipice. There's almost always a wall of mist here. This is a great place to get a picture of yourself, or with a friend. In 2012, I was lucky enough to lead this tour with my dad. He and I have now led tours on all 7 continents, and Iguazu remains one of our favorites of all time. Here's our wonderful guide, Ciro, who I've had the privilege of working with on all 3 tours that I've led to this beautiful part of the world. Take a moment and just listen to the power of Iguazu at Devil's Throat.
I'm here at Iguacu Falls, Argentina. This is unbelievable. Look at this.
Once you've had your fill here, you can return along the elevated boardwalks and take the train, or a walking trail, back to the main center of the park. From here, you might enjoy walking along the upper circuit. This is a series of very flat trails and elevated boardwalks that will take you to some of the other equally impressive falls along the Argentine side of Iguazu. Along this marvelous trail, you can stare right over the edge and get yet another angle on this beautiful UNESCO World Heritage Site. Here's a little video footage from the upper circuit featuring Salto Mbigua. Another great walking option to check out before you leave the Argentine side is the lower circuit. This is a series of trails that are a bit longer and with a bit more elevation gain and loss, but this circuit offers great views of some hidden falls, like Salto Alvar Nunez. And it gets you down to the mid-level of the falls where you can gawk at several beautiful cataracts like Salto Bassetti and Salto dos Hermanos. Here's a bit of video from the lower circuit that you might enjoy. Now that you've enjoyed what Argentina has to offer, it's time for us to cross the border to Brazil. On the Brazilian side of the falls, you have some of your best panoramic views where much of the waterfall can be seen. Because most of that water falls in Argentina, Brazil really is the best place to see it on a larger scale. There's not as much walking to be had in Brazil, but the trail that leads from Hotel Tropical das Cataratas toward the visitor center is chock full of amazing views and offers the chance at the end to walk along the mid-level of the falls where you actually get to see and feel the falls coming down above you while also getting to the edge and watching the final plunge into the river canyon below. You are almost guaranteed to get wet on this spectacular boardwalk section, but it is well worth the time and the moisture to experience this magical moment. After experiencing the middle section of the Brazil side of the falls, you can take an elevator or hike up to the top, enjoying some final fantastic views as the water roars over the cliffs. Here's a bit of video footage from the walk along the Brazil side.
So here is the Iguacu Falls from the Brazil side, looking over into Argentina. This is Salto Bassetti right over here where we walked up the other day. A lot of water coming off this year. And then panning around to the upper circuit trail we finished on yesterday.
Nice to see the two different
Beautiful rainbow. It's a gorgeous day.
Finally, if you truly want to get the complete Iguacu immersive experience, you can drive downstream and take a short Jeep ride to a trail that will lead you down to the lower river. From there, you can board a jet boat and motor upstream into the deafening roar of the falls and see it from yet one more jaw-dropping angle. Don't take anything you don't want to get wet, or at least have a dry bag to stuff your camera and valuables into, because you will be given a thorough soaking when your boat captain drives you right underneath one or two of the smaller falls. It is a thrilling way to wrap up your time at what I think is the absolute coolest waterfall on the planet. Thanks so much for joining me on this visit to Iguacu Falls. If you enjoyed this virtual vacation and would enjoy other content like this, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Passport Attitude, or check out my blog at passportattitude.com, where I'll be sharing a growing number of fun posts and ideas that will help you be an explorer at home and abroad. Also, if you have friends or family who are explorers at heart and you think they'd enjoy all this fun stuff, let them know about my sites. Thanks. Finally, if you enjoy traveling and getting to places beyond just the tourist hotspots, connecting with culture, history, and scenery, you should check out walkingadventures.com, the wonderful company I've been guiding for since 2007. Once this pandemic is over and it's safe to travel again, you might want to make up for lost time and see a bit more of this incredible planet. Take care, everybody.